Hello everybody, a very good afternoon to you all and welcome to my first Taurex live stream here on our YouTube channel, and also we are hosting a Zoom meeting as well. It's very good to see you all. If you haven't managed to join on the stream, we are recording these sessions, and also you'll be able to see them on our YouTube live feed as well. It's very good. If you are around today, feel free to pop up and say hello. This is my first one, so if there are any little technical glitches, I'm sure we'll be able to sort them out in the very near future. But it's very good to see you all. And in today's stream, we're going to be doing a quick little introduction about myself, because I'm going to be live streaming every single day here on our YouTube channel, and also on Zoom as well, if you do want to register for those. And we're also going to have a look at the week ahead to see the top events and market movers of this week. Lots to talk about, lots to get into, and if anyone does have any questions on the stream, then feel free to pop up in any way that you're comfortable with, whether that's on the live chat or whether that's actually talking to me on the Zoom meeting. However is best for you is fine with me. Okay, so should have enough people in here now to really get going. Just a quick introduction about myself. I'm not going to do this every time because people don't want to listen to me talk about myself all the time. This is more about you than it is for me. So just a very quick introduction. Obviously, we are into a new week of trading on the 2nd of December. So we've just really started our new monthly calendar. So hopefully we can have a really good December. And I'm starting at the beginning of December for you all. So quick introduction about myself. My name is Connor Woods, and I am the Senior Market Analyst here at Taurex. Also Trading Education Manager. So anything trading related, education, content, questions on markets, anything like that, I'm your guy to go to. And yeah, I'm very approachable. I'm currently living in the UK, but I will be moving out to Dubai in January. So I'm very much looking forward to connecting with some of you out there. I do have 10 years of interest in the financial markets, about 6 years experience permanently working actually in the trading world itself. I come from an academic background with a first-class degree in economics and finance as well. And I'd probably class myself to be a millennial trader, but I'm definitely not a social media guru. I cannot stand that way of working. So even though I may be coming from that social media sort of background, I'm not one of these people that's posting Lamborghinis on their Instagram pages, that's for sure. Just had a message through J&D Adventures. Hello to you on our YouTube channel. It's good to see you, and thank you very much for popping up. If anyone else is around, feel free to pop up and say hello. What sort of trader am I? Probably a question I get asked quite a lot, something that we should probably iron out from the start, really. My sort of go-to concepts or go-to strategy would be smart money concepts. That's sort of my go-to analysis. So if you're someone who likes SMCs, ICT concepts, you're going to enjoy these streams. But don't worry, if there is anything else that any other concepts that people want me to talk about, then I've been streaming now for the last 3 years to thousands of people. And yeah, a lot of people have very independent styles. That's what makes trading so good, because it really is just about the individual itself. So if people do have their own ways of seeing the markets, and I welcome that, I do not recommend that you come onto these streams and you sort of maybe just copy me in a way. But it's up to you, of course. Trend rider strategy is something that we'll introduce over the next few weeks or so. It's sort of my secondary strategy, which is very easy to follow. It's very easy to set up as well. And when the time's right and we have a dedicated stream to that strategy, then I will make sure that I show you how to set that up, and everything like that will be really clear to you. So they're my two main styles of analysis, that I do on the charts and anything like that. And in terms of the time frame that I like to use to trade, I'm typically a daily or 4-hour time frame trader. Some of you, I've just seen Bill pop up. Hello to you, Bill. It's good to see you. I know Bill's been on a few of my streams before, so it's very good to see you, and thank you very much for finding me and coming onto the stream. Hope you're doing well, and you already know all about me anyway, but I imagine that Some of the people who maybe watch this after may not know anything about me, so I've got to go through the introductory stuff, of course. So I'm daily or 4 hour. What's my opinion on the lower time frames? I have no issue with trading on the lower time frames. I've told this to communities that I've run in the past. I have no issue with that. If people want to trade on the lower time frames, that's up to them. I just always say to people, if you're going to trade on the lower time frames, you have to manage your expectations. Trading on the lower time frames, the markets are a lot more volatile. The chart is a lot more volatile. Your profit and loss curve is going to look very much more like this, a little bit more random than it would be if you was a higher time frame trader. It doesn't mean you can't be successful, but what I always say to myself is if the markets are quiet and I find myself going down onto the lower time frame, I always just halve or lower that risk as an absolute minimum. I can teach all concepts. So even though I may have my favorites as such, obviously I'm a trading coach, I teach people. So I obviously have to have an understanding of the other ways of trading as well. And it doesn't mean that my way is better than yours or anything like that. In fact, I'm a big believer that there is no such thing as a holy grail strategy. Everything is down to the individual, and it's down to your risk management more than anything else. But it's how it suits you. If a strategy suits you and you can get your head around it, and I can't get my head around that one, it doesn't make that one better. It's just all down to the individual, okay? Right. In terms of the streaming content going forward, this is something that we're going to be building. So I understand, that there may not be many people at the start. People don't know who I am, etc. But this video will be, available for you to play through. But just for those who are, currently with us on our YouTube channel and on our Zoom, in terms of when we're going to be streaming, or when I'm going to be streaming, because Taurex has had a webinars in place, but they haven't been a daily thing, and I'm introducing daily webinars or daily live streams to everyone. So if you are around and you're a trader, we're going to be starting to sort of build that community up, and I'm going to be hosting live streams every single day, unless of course I'm not actually working, because I do have time off sometimes. Then it will be, I won't be streaming on those days, but typically 1 p.m. UK time is when I'll come online and when I'll come onto the streams, and you'll be able to catch me. You'll be able to be notified, via emails, via all of our social media channels as well. We have a fantastic team running our social media channel, or channels, should I say, TikTok, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we're on there. So you should be notified when we're going live a lot of the time, okay? Now, in there, you'll see Discord coming soon. It's something that potentially we're going to be introducing as well. If there's enough, if there's enough interest in it, then potentially what I'm looking to do is sort of maybe build up a place where we can chat and you can have sort of instant access to me. It's sort of that community feel. Bill, I know you're on the stream. I imagine that's something that you would be interested in as well, is to just have that sort of channel or that area where we can sort of chat, not all day, but we can chat all day if you like, and I can share with you my way of trading, my analysis and my trade ideas and all that sort of stuff. We can sort of dump that all in the channel itself. Okay, right. Moving on, in terms of who, anyone who's interested in trading, whether that's a prop trader, whether you're a personal trader. The amazing thing that here at Taurex is that we have both solutions for you. We have a prop solution. If you're looking to get involved in that, then I can point you in the right direction. And we also have, of course, Taurex being a brokerage itself. You've got your broker solution there as well, with a whole suite of fantastic tools. So yeah, great opportunities going forward. Yes, Bill. Yeah, 100%. Now, you can join me live on YouTube, or you can join me on Zoom for a more interactive session, shall we say. If you're outside of the UK and you want to register on Zoom, let me just quickly close this down. There's a lot of buttons here, so let me just give me a second. If we just go over to the website and we go down onto Learn and onto Trading Webinars, you will actually notice that you'll see me there, and you can join me every single day, and you can actually reserve your spot on our. You can actually just register for the meeting, and you'll be sent a Zoom link, and you can come and join me on Zoom. Now, what's the benefit of that? Why would you come onto Zoom rather than just go on YouTube? I mean, you can do either. However, on the Zoom, you can actually have more of a one-to-one interaction with me. So you can pop up and you can sort of raise your hand and you can say, Connor, I have a question. You can actually talk to me rather than just typing to me. So one-to-one sessions is something that I've done before, and I would consider this to be a version of that, and it's more of like a classroom, should we say. And you'll be able to have a lot more of an interactive session. Now, the people on YouTube who are watching won't be able to hear the conversation that goes on from the other from your side. You'll be able to hear me, of course, but you won't be able to hear the person asking the question on the Zoom meeting. So think of it as if you're in our Zoom meeting and you're in our exclusive webinar meeting list, then you're almost in like we're also in our own classroom, and then we're live streaming that classroom out to our YouTube channel for everyone to see as well. Okay, that's the sort of the best way that I can explain that. Okay. In terms of what it is we're going to be streaming going forward, to be honest with you, there's a whole host of things that we can stream. I know some of you maybe have watched my streams in the past will know, my typical go-to streams will sort of be your live trading sessions, a bit like they will be today once we move on from this. We're also going to always cover key events live. So that might be NFP, for example, which is coming up this Friday. So I'm going to cover that event live. I've always done that. FOMC, like the Federal Reserve decisions, any meaningful central bank decision, inflation reports out of the US, anything that's not just high impact, of course, because I'll be here all day, but I mean the big ones, the top 5 events, of the month. I'll be covering those events live. That's also why it'd be important to sort of keep up to date with our social media, and potentially if we open up some sort of channel where we can all congregate, you'll know when that live trading when you'll know when that event's actually starting, because it won't be at 1 p.m. UK time. Okay. Taurex tools, we're going to look at some streams on our fantastic suite of tools here at Taurex as well. Any technical analysis workshops, strategy streams, and in capital letters there you'll see whatever suits you. Okay, these streams aren't about me, or these webinars aren't about me. This is about what you want to see. So if anyone does have any questions or any recommendations for streams going forward, now is your time, or in the chat rooms when I'm live, that's your time to ask those questions. I will always answer all the questions that come up. I've always done that. And if someone wants a stream dedicated to a certain thing, then again, I'm more than willing to have a stream dedicated to what it is that you're asking, if it's a broad topic, for example. So although there's a loose schedule in terms of what it is we'll stream, mainly it's going to be down to what it is that everyone wants to see. So we'll make sure that we put you first in that. Question come through, Bill. How many traders can join the Zoom meeting at any time? Do you know what's a good question? I'm not actually sure. It might be like 50 or something like that. It may be more, to be honest. I'm not actually sure. I've not streamed on Zoom before. I've always sort of been streaming on YouTube and stuff. So I'll get back to you on that. But there is space right now if you want to reserve your space for tomorrow and going forward. It'll be the same meeting link. Once you reserve once, once you register once, that's it. You don't need to register again. And you can come and join me if you want to chat to me more personally rather than sort of on a chat room on social media. Okay, and it goes without saying as well, if there are any questions that people have throughout any of these streams or live sessions, don't worry about interrupting me. Just ask them. I'll always come around and every sort of few minutes or so check the chat rooms, see if people are asking any questions, and if they are, of course, I stop the stream and I'll answer those questions for you, no problem. Okay, good stuff. Right, so in terms of what it is we're going to be looking at today, we're going to be looking at, and what it is that I sort of stream, is I always just sort of stream what I'm looking at and how I manage my trading days. So today is a Monday, it's the start of a new trading week, and a stream that I always do every single Monday to whoever is I always show you my sort of week ahead plan. So what I do as a trader, when I walk through that door and I come and sit in this chair for the first time on a Monday, what do I do? Now, the first thing that I do is I look at the news. I look at the news coming up in the week. Now, even if you're not a massive fundamental guy, okay, it doesn't matter, because all we're using these like an economic calendar for, because that's what we'll use to decide what events are important. All we're using it for is just to know where the volatility is potentially going to be and where the market moves are going to be. Okay, I'm not asking for a macroeconomic essay on every single news event that comes out. We're just simply using it as a guide for us to know, okay, so on Wednesday afternoon, US inflation's out, and we know that's high impact, and that's going to impact these markets. It just gives you sort of a mental note of what to expect. A lot of time traders come in on a Monday and they think, oh, the markets are going to be moving in the way they expect them to, which might be I'm looking at gold, I'm expecting gold to move, or I'm expecting USD yen to move. But what if there's no dollar news, or if there's a lack of yen news as well? Then the likelihood is actually we may not see some movements in those pairs. So your expectations are sort of way off reality straight away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, first of all, the economic calendar for the week. Now, if you want to get involved in these tools, this is the tools that Taurex have on offer. If you just head over to the website, you get a 30-day free trial. You'll see it under tools, and you can sign up to Taurex Plus, and you'll get access to all of these tools that you can see on this left-hand side. Now, of course, I could be here all day going through them all, and I will be adopting them into my streams going forward. But the main one that is good for me, the one that I like at the moment, is the economic calendar. It's a really, really neat economic calendar. You can obviously use other calendars if you like, but this one is particularly good at sort of filtering out and seeing what the high impact news events are, and it's just laid out in a really nice, clean way. I like it. So what we're looking at is, you can see the timeline at the bottom here: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's our trading week, and all we're going to do is go onto the filters, and I want to filter to high impact news. Now, why do I want to do that? Well, when it comes to my week ahead analysis, if you're going to sit through and look at all of the trading, all of the events that are coming out, essentially, then you're going to be here all week, and this should be a fairly quick sort of 20-minute task. Okay, it shouldn't take too long. The whole thing, or not even if, or maybe if you experience even less than that. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm clicking through the days. So we're on Monday the 2nd at the moment, and it tells me what the high impact news events are coming out, basically, and what's come out. If you click through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you'll see at the bottom here, it tells you what those news events are. So if we start on Monday, which is today, of course, it's 1:20. You can see we've had retail sales out of Australia, we've had the manufacturing PMI out of China, and we've got the ISIN manufacturing PMI as well out of the US, which is coming out at 3 o'clock for me, UK time, which is, an hour and a half from now, okay? So normally, typically on a Monday, the news events are quite light, but you can see that we have got a high impact news event coming out in the US. So there may be some early volatility in those US markets, whether that's the dollar or gold or the stock market. And I'm just quickly clicking through just to see what sort of week we're expecting. Now on Tuesday, okay, consumer price index out of Switzerland. So if you're a trader of the Swiss franc, that's going to be important. If not, it doesn't matter. A speech from the RBNZ governor. Wednesday, you can see that the news really starts to tick in. And if we condense that down, we've got GDP out of Australia. We've got more China data as well. We've got a speech from the Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey. And then we've got the ADP employment change, a speech from the ECB President, ISM Services PMI, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking as well. So in terms of moves across all the markets, especially the US markets, we can definitely gather that we're going to see potentially enough volatility in those US markets, because as we head into Wednesday, we've got a couple of high impact news events. We've got some out of the UK and in Europe as well. So if you're a trader of euro dollar, pound versus US dollar, or cable as it's known, you should get enough there to be able to, get some decent trading opportunities on Wednesday. And then as we head into Thursday, a little bit of a pause day, should we say. So there isn't too much going on there. Retail sales out of Europe and then more data out of Australia, actually. So if you're a trader of the Australian dollar, it could be a good week for volatility, to be fair. And then as we move into Friday, I already know this because I've checked it before. We've actually got one of the more important days, if not the most important day, other than probably the Fed decision in a couple of weeks' time, because it's non-farm payrolls day in the US, and you can see that's in our economic calendars here for Friday. So we know, and then we've also got the other data that comes around it: average hourly earnings, Michigan consumer sentiment. We've got don't just get the US jobs report, we also get the Canada jobs report as well, which is important, and more data out of Europe in the morning as well. So when I do that and I sort of click through the days, I sort of get once you've done it a few times, you'll get a rough gauge where, am I expecting a good week? Am I expecting a week of volatility? Am I expecting a week of calm and quiet and range-bound markets? And for me right now, I'm seeing a week which is potentially going to be one of the more volatile ones of the month, and that is headlined by the US non-farm payrolls on Friday. Now, I don't go into each event at the start, but I will cover and do a preview, complete rundown of the non-farm payrolls report on Friday, obviously when the time is right, but just before I come on, just before the event comes live, I think 15 or 20 minutes before, I'll come live and I'll break down the NFP and we'll follow the charts together as they come out, okay? Now we have an understanding, let me just quickly check if there's any questions. Okay, cool. Now we have an understanding of the events that are coming out. Now's the time to when I go onto the charts and I have a look at some of the key events, should we say, key market moves, or trade ideas as we like to call them. So if there's any particular markets that anyone wants me to cover, then let me know in the chat room and I'll cover those markets for you. We'll just do a quick rundown of some of the things that I'm looking at this week in terms of my red list of markets, which is basically my market watch list and the markets that I trade, which is basically all the USD majors, gold, silver. Also look at the NASDAQ and the US stock indexes as well. I do like to look at the pound versus the Japanese yen. I also like to look at euro yen as well, oil, and then I use the volatility index and the dollar index as not necessarily as markets you can trade because you can't really spot trade them, but markets that sort of give me a bit more of light on sort of the markets as a whole, should we say. Okay, so because it's an NFP week and we know there's a bit of data coming out of Europe as well, I think we can safely say that the euro versus the US dollar is not a bad market to take a look at this week. And before I do that, I just want to point you in this direction because this is some news which isn't in our calendars, which again, I will update you on as and when. There's a lot of political instability going on right now in France, which is causing a bit of concern. France's far right says it will vote the government down unless a last-minute miracle. So basically, France's far right national rally will force the collapse of Prime Minister Michel Barnier's government unless there's a last-minute miracle he yields to their demands on the budget. This is seen as politically unstable. One of the things that markets don't like more than anything else is instability and uncertainty. And I think with potentially this new government coming in, no French government has been forced out by such a vote since 1962. I mean, you can go into as much detail as you like. It's been all over the news. But what's screaming out to me from that is, uncertainty and euro weakness as a result of that uncertainty, should we say. So when we look at the euro versus the dollar today, or for this week, should we say, and I'll drop down onto some lower time frames for you. I've actually had a trade open. I've actually still got this trade open on euro dollar. 4-to-1 risk reward is the maximum that it hit at one stage. But I'm going to delete that because I'm going to do some fresh analysis for you all. Let's go up to the 4-hour time frame. We are approaching that sort of Christmas period. It can be a difficult time to trade in December. But as you can see, really, if we analyze the market structure, we've got our market structure low here. What was our previous market structure high here? So all the time we're trading in between these levels, in between this low and this high, I would still class euro dollar as bearish in structure unless we get a break above 1.06. So if you are looking for euro dollar strength this week, you're probably going to need some dollar weakness, of course, and dollar weakness will probably come from a weaker NFP report and weaker US data across the board really this week, and we could see some more dollar weakness that can cause a bit of a rally in the euro dollar. However, we just saw what happened and what's going on over in France, and that instability, that's an uncertainty and fear and panic and all those things that are being implemented over in France right now, and it's hard to be bullish, to be honest, with what I'm seeing here. So the most obvious level for me is down here, and that's our sell side liquidity. Just becomes a potentially good area or a good target area for the sellers down here. And of course, it goes without saying that if we are expecting another leg lower in euro dollar, then what we're going to want to see is maybe 1.03 being tested. And we may not get that this week, but it'll be interesting to see. Now, obviously, the bull side will be, can we get a break above this high? And if we can get a break above this high, can we now form our first sort of major higher low? And then we can potentially look. So I'm still bearish on euro dollar at the moment. We are forming a bit of a base. It's been a bit of a low volume rally, really. And if you look at the daily chart, you can see that as well. Still not broken above this previous leg lower. So I'm still remaining bearish on that. Let me just quickly draw it. Okay, no, that's okay. Okay, right. Now, in terms of, let me just check there's not any other markets anyone wants me to have a look at. Okay. Let's now take a look at gold. Now, you can see I've already got some analysis in there because I've been looking at the markets previously. Right, let me just show you what I'm thinking here for gold. So what I've done is I've basically drawn a Fibonacci retracement from, you know, the high up here down to the low. You can see that we've actually had and I'm using these smart money concepts. So I do apologize if anyone is maybe confused on some of the concepts that I'm using. You know, feel free to stop me and I can ask. But basically, what we've seen is always analyze market structure. Now that's the first thing we're going to do. And you can see that our leg in the market, should we say, from this high up here down towards this low, that's our sort of bearish leg. And we also broke this structure low. If it lets me mark it. So there's our market structure low that's been broken basically. So we now call that break of low, and then we created a new low down here, and then we come up and we had that gold rally, didn't we? Really from the lows we saw in the middle of November, and really towards the end, basically towards the end of the month, we saw gold selling off a little bit, and we had that big bearish candle here. Now you see where that reaction from that bearish candle came from. It came from that 61.8% fib. So when I go down onto the lower time frames, this is basically what I do. I mark my key fib levels, which are the 38.2, the 0.5, and the 61.8. And then I look for order blocks, imbalance areas that are situated around those areas. That's what I'm looking for, ideally. Now, TradingView has a fantastic smart money concepts indicator. I highly recommend that people get that downloaded onto their charts. It's very easy. You just type in smart money concepts, and it's this top one here by Lux Algo. I'm not sure if you need the paid version. I do pay for it myself. I have done for years, and I basically use this TradingView for my analysis, and then I would execute on MT4, MT5, just because for the purpose of the stream, it's a lot more user friendly to use this. Now you can see up here at 2677, we've got this red box here, which is basically, let's call it a resistance area. It's a bearish order block. So it's where previously we've had sellers stepping in. Now I'm looking for the market to make a move up towards there. And then that can be our sort of selling level. We've also got, as per marked on here, we've got some equal highs. Not quite equal highs, but still, for me, that's buy side liquidity. Again, another key SMC concept, which basically is where prices are sort of drawn towards liquidity areas. Again, I can explain all these concepts, individually as and when. But just showing you, in simple terms, what I'm looking for is the market to continue rallying. I want the market to take out this liquidity, and I want it to come and test this area of supply or this area of resistance, and then look for a move back down, because I know that the daily time frame, because we broke this low, is the first indication that this market is potentially, turning over. So I'm looking for that this week. I know people on my streams like me to, and you'll very much notice that one of my favorite markets to trade is the Nasdaq, or the tech stocks, US 100, whatever you want to call it. And you can trade the individual stocks, like your Amazons or Microsoft or Apple. But I like to trade the actual stock index itself. And you can see that we're on a grind higher at the moment, and you can see where this sort of Fibonacci way of doing things that I do, it seems to be working okay, because I've drew basically I think it's a few weeks ago now, because it's been a bit of a grind here. This is our previous low up to our previous high. We've also got our Fibonacci retracement drawn from that low to that high, 61.8%. You can see it has acted as support on 3 or 4 different occasions now. And you can see we're generally taking a move higher. So a little bit difficult to get involved in this one, but generally speaking, I am looking for continued strength in December. I see no particular reason why we should have some downside here in the Nasdaq. There's no real technical or fundamental reason why. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but the safest bet, in my opinion, would be to try and target these new all-time highs, and I think we could be getting that potentially this week. With this news events coming in, we may see a slight increase in volatility, because it has been really for a couple of weeks been a little bit of a painful trade, really, these stock market indexes. Now, the things that haven't been a tough trade, cryptocurrencies. If you're registered already at Taurex, should be getting my weekly preview emails coming through. And if you are getting my weekly preview emails coming through, then you'll know that for 2 weeks in a row, I've put the top market to trade in crypto as XRP or Ripple. Now, full disclosure, I actually sold all my cryptocurrencies just after COVID, especially with interest rates going up. I thought my money was best served more in a high interest rate savings account with a bank, rather than in the more volatile, riskier crypto space. However, it's been a fantastic run up higher in the last really since Trump was elected as the new president of the US. We've seen a massive surge in cryptocurrencies. Add on top of that, the current SEC commissions officer in dealing with the Ripple case has been replaced, or is stepping down. They think that maybe we're close to seeing a resolution now between Ripple and the SEC. And if that's the case, then, this has a lot of potential. And people are piling into that potential already. Now, just remember, just be very careful, because what you've seen in history is that often with these crypto markets is you get these massive influxes of money coming into these cryptos, massive hype surrounding it. Everyone's bullish on it. You see on TikTok, everyone's going crazy over it. And then suddenly, the hype fades. Doesn't mean there's not strength in the market, but the hype fades, and we see the market potentially selling off. So be careful we don't get a similar situation here where the market everyone starts piling into buyers at 2.5, but we actually get a correction down to 1.2, 1.4, even $1 per XRP. Just be careful. Now, if you're someone who's buying and holding this, and you're someone who thinks that XRP in 20 years' time is going to be worth a lot, then you can ignore that sort of thesis because you're just holding it for the long term. But if you're a trader, just be careful because we're currently sort of in that area of like overextension in a lot of these markets, especially in Bitcoin as well, which has already started to sell off a little bit after touching 100,000. Not quite. I think we're going to touch 100,000 to be honest before the end of the year. It wouldn't surprise me. But once we do hit 100,000, you're probably going to get a lot of profit taken around that, and so we should probably see a bit of a pullback down, maybe towards 80. But I'm not here to be bearish on crypto. I think there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of hype around it at the moment, and I do think that hype with Trump now in charge, I do think that hype's probably going to be a little bit more long-lasting than your typical sort of hype period, and it actually may become more of a movement than a hype, and it could be. And my opinion is that it's going to be quite a good 4 years for cryptocurrencies, as long as we stay out of sort of economic recession and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a good time to be involved. So I've definitely got my eye on that. I'm going to see if I can get involved. Okay, right. That's pretty much it in terms of what I'm looking for this week. Just to summarize, I am looking for some more euro-dollar downside. It will need to be sort of aided by a stronger than forecasted news events coming out of the US, of course. I'm also looking for a continuation in the grind higher in the stock market. I've got my eyes on gold as well for that area of resistance. I think that maybe that could be a good trade. Typically, I'll be honest, in December, my trading activity, falls a little bit just because the markets become a bit quieter and you have to become a little bit more selective in the markets that you trade. But any big news events, anything that crops up, then, I'll be sure to be covering that every single day for you. And just before I go, just want to point you in the direction of our new demo trading competition, which is due to start pretty soon, I think. I'll show you a little bit more, but just to give you a quick rundown, you can join a demo trading environment with us at Taurex. Trading competition, so you'll be competing against others. But if you win, you could win your share of $2,000 in real cash prizes, by the way. So I'd highly recommend that you go and check that one out as well. You can find that on our website. If you head over to our website and go over to the competitions page. Actually, if I go back, I'll show you. On trade and then demo trading competition, that'll take you to this page. If you click join the league, all that will happen is all you got to do is open a demo account up basically, and you'll see the previous competitions and when the new competition is set to start. So we've currently got 500 people ready to go for our next one that starts in just under a week's time. So I'd recommend you get registered for that. I'll be giving updates on who's doing well and stuff on my streams. Just some quick rules for you. Traders who don't open and close at least one trade per day, or traders who trade for less than 10 days will be disqualified. Traders can register until the 8th of December, and trading will commence on the 9th of December and last until the 22nd. The winners will be announced shortly after, and very best of luck. And also you can see how much you stand to win. $800 for first place, $500 for second, and $400 for third place. So those winnings will get credited into a Taurex live account, and if you do wish to withdraw that as real cash, then you can. Also as well, just want to quickly, if you are around and you're looking to get involved in prop trading, as I said at the start of the stream, the amazing thing about Taurex now is we've got all bases covered. You can deposit into a Taurex account if you wish to do so and build up your personal account. You can also, if you want to get involved in the prop space, then you can join or you can start an Atmos challenge. Atmos by Taurex is our broker-backed, ready-to-trade prop firm. You'll be able to scroll down and see the fees for each one. You can do an account from 1k up to 100k, whatever suits you more. Really, really low competitive fees as well. 80-20 profit split. And we're going to be doing some more streams on that, I'm sure, going forward. There's lots of content around. But if you do wish to get involved in that side of things, then do that. And I always say to people that, I like the prop space. I'm a prop trader myself, and I think the best way to do things sometimes is maybe give one of these prop challenges a go. And, if you're a successful prop trader, take some profits out. Always take your profits out, at least half of them, and use those profits to maybe fund your personal account, because obviously you are restricted under a prop firm with different rules, etc. But when you do trade your own personal account, as long as you're risk managed, you've got, the world's your oyster, or the platform's your oyster, basically. You can do what you like. So I'd always recommend always having a goal in mind to try and build up a personal account as well. And you can do that, with your successful profits from the prop firm. That's the ideal way to do it. Okay. Hello to you, Jeanette. Good to see you. And no problem. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. And this is something they're going to be building up. Okay, we're going to be building this up over every single day. So if you do have any questions in the meantime, you can actually contact me and I'll put it in the chat room, at cwoods@tradetaurex.com. However, leave it with us, and we'll be in the works for creating some sort of community feel where you can actually have more of an instant chat to me. Thank you very much to those who tuned in today. I do wish you all a very successful trading week. Hopefully it provides a lot of profits for everyone involved. And if you are stuck with anything, then feel free to get in touch, and I'll be more than happy to help. Okay, thank you very much. Take care, trade well, and I'll see you tomorrow.